It's
out of
we
USA
got
Today.
to warn everybody. You got to strap in because this is not a good story. But we're hoping that this can still have a happy ending.
Right. Okay, it's out of USA Today and it's out of The Nation. And it says, you need to get him out of there. Vermont man with autism lived in 6 facilities in 1 year. And what this story does is chronicle the journey of Travis Luxembourg, who lives in Vermont, and his really circuitous path to living independently as an adult. He's 33, I believe, and the struggle his mother has had to place him. And it's really a very disturbing story.
It's harrowing, and he still is in a placement where his mother does not believe is appropriate for him. The placement has filed documents saying that it is and why. She thinks that he is being over medicated, and that is a discussion. I think the hardest thing as I was reading it, that I just kept feeling the hope of the mother, that she was like, okay, I got to have someplace to put my son because it's not working at home. She needed more support for him. So she found this place and there was all this funding. She researched it. She did all the things that you're supposed to do.
Right.
She put him in that placement and it wasn't really working.
Right. But it was a log cabin and it was called the Nice Place.
Yeah. And she was trying. Go ahead.
She had gone to great lengths to establish this home for him that he was supposed to be in with caregivers around the clock and people that could run a program for him. It was designed specifically around his needs and would provide at least 2 caregivers at all times, an autism specialist, and improved security measures.
And Parker has written in saying those institutions need to be shut down. I want you to know, Parker, that this mom was not putting him in an institution. She was putting him in a place where it was going to be his home. But there were going to be, so it wasn't going to be with a whole bunch of other people. It was going to be his home, but there were going to be people living with him that were going to support him. And there was supposedly funding for that. But they had trouble staffing it and they couldn't get an executive director who really knew what they were doing. And so the money kind of went to waste and they weren't really supporting him. And there was one person who was on the team, and here it all kind of turns into a Lifetime movie. He became on the team because he was there being a contractor and he felt like things weren't working well. So they hired him, which is odd to me. But then he worked there for 3 months and said, this isn't working. Your child does not be supporting. I'm leaving. You know, you should do something differently here. Her child, every time something would happen and he wasn't being supported, he would act out. And I say child, he's her child, but he's an adult man. And he would sometimes hurt himself, sometimes put other people in jeopardy. So there were several hospitalizations. He ended up in a hospital, and that's when COVID hit, right when he was getting ready to come out of the hospital. And there was a disagreement about where the placement would be. They wanted to put him in a trailer. Now, instead of this nice log cabin, in a trailer with 2 people who would support him. And mom was making the argument, you couldn't do it in the nice place. I'm not going to have you do it in a hovel. She's provided pictures, and the people in the program, even they admit that the outside looks run down because of a lack of funding and that they focus more on making the inside nice. But I think we can all understand why the mom would be unhappy with that. But she was fighting them and they filed papers and took away her guardianship. And while they can't really talk about how they were able to do that and what circumstances were, and we don't know, I just can't imagine while you're fighting for your child to be in a place where they're safe and not finding it, having people now fight and take away, and they did take away her guardianship.
Right.
So then they began making decisions for him that mom doesn't even get a say in.
Yeah, she says he's being over medicated. That's one of her major concerns. And she is fighting to have her guardianship restored, by the way.
Yeah. Now, Bish has said that this is a great talk show, and thanks, Bish, for being here. But Bish already wants to know, what's the website to buy the artworks?
We don't have it set up yet, but I'm going to work on that, Bish.
But I will tell you that the Art of Autism is an organization that in the past has sold, and I don't know But they are the art of autism. You can go check them out and see if, but Nancy will have, by the time the holidays are over, we're going to have a website with a storefront for Wyatt.
Wyatt has a website, but we need to put the paintings on there that you can buy. So
there we go. We'll get right on that. See,
okay.
we got customers lining
Right.
up, Nancy. Okay, so I think that's great. But in any case, mom is fighting this out, trying to figure out a way that she can, and this is a story that has been much in the press and is now in USA Today. So we're saying a little prayer for this family, for this young man, 33 years old, and for his mom, that she's able to find a situation that works well for him and that he be safe and well taken care of until that happens. Very difficult story.
Hey, thanks for watching Autism Live. To subscribe, click here. And if you'd like to check out some more of our videos, click here.